This is All India Radio. The news read by Naresh Margo. The Navy today successfully test-fired the 290-kilometer range BrahMos supersonic cruise missile capable of carrying a conventional warhead of 300 kg from a warship off the Goa coast. According to defense sources, the missile performing high-level maneuvers successfully hit the target ship. The two-stage missile, the first one being solid and the second one ramjet liquid propellant, has already been inducted into the Army and the Navy, and the Air Force version is in the final stage of trial. With the government clearing all amendments to the insurance bill, it has expressed its intent to continue with reforms to boost economic growth and investor sentiment. In a major move, the Cabinet approved allowing 49% foreign direct investment (FDI) in insurance recently. The Cabinet also cleared the pensions bill and allowed FDI in pension funds. The proposed changes to both the bills will now have to be cleared by both houses of Parliament before they can come into effect. Overseas investors poured in more than 3,300 crore rupees in the country's stock market last week as the government continued with its reforms to boost economic growth and investor sentiment. According to the data available with the market regulator SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, during October 1 to 5, FIIs were gross buyers of shares worth 13,094 crore rupees, while they sold equities amounting to 9,714 crores, translating into a net inflow of 3,381 crore rupees. In a relief for parents of paramilitary troopers killed during duty, the Union Home Ministry has made it mandatory for forces to give a portion of the ex gratia to them apart from the Jawan's spouse. The country's largest paramilitary force and the mainstay of anti-Naxal operations, CRPF, has started the practice of disbursing this risk fund amount in such a manner. According to the new mechanism devised in the Central Reserve Police Force, in case of death in action, of the total 15 lakh rupees ex gratia, parents will get 4 lakh rupees while the spouse will get 11 lakh rupees. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights has asked the education departments across the country to adopt a code of conduct to ensure transparency and admission to disadvantaged children under the economically weaker sections category. The direction comes in the wake of plethora of complaints about denial of admission by private schools. The Commission also wants the states to organize awareness programs for dissemination of information on the code of conduct. In Tamil Nadu, with the loading of enriched uranium fuel in the nuclear reactor of Kodunkulam nuclear plant finished, the protesters are now planning a sea siege of the nuclear plant tomorrow. Our correspondent reports the People's Movement Against Nuclear Energy has submitted a set of demands, including release of protesters lodged in jails and scrapping of the Kodunkulam project and making it a people-nature-friendly park, to the Nellai district collector. 7 members of the Iranian Red Crescent were released by their captors in Libya after 65 days in captivity. They were released yesterday. Iranian Foreign Minister Ali Akbar Salehi said that the hostages were handed over to the Iranian embassy in Tripoli. They are expected to reach Tehran today. The Red Crescent members were kidnapped in Benghazi by unknown armed men in July. In Venezuela, voters are set to go to the polls in what is predicted to be the country's most tightly contested presidential election in a decade. Left-wing incumbent Hugo Chavez, who was first elected in 1999, is being challenged by opposition leader Enrique Capriles. Sri Lanka will test their skills against the flamboyant West Indies when both sides battle for their maiden World Cup 2020 cricket title in Colombo today. The ICC Women's World 2020 will also be played at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo today. All India Radio will broadcast commentary alternately in Hindi and English from 2 p.m. for women's and from 6:30 p.m. for men's final match. That is the end of this news bulletin.